it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, and I'm going to be creating in real time a 12 by 12 layout featuring the Simple Stories Simple Vintage Berry Fields collection. If you're not into real time, please mute me and use the gear icon to speed up this video. This page took me 25 minutes to create. I'm going to be talking you through my thought process of creating a page 2 design, and that's what I call it when I create a complementary page to a single page I already made, essentially stretching a single page layout into a double page spread. I do it all the time. The material I'll be using is available at the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, so you're going to find links to the shop along with the products I use in the description box below. I'm also going to link up the process video for the original page. That's the page you see on the right. So let's jump right in. Before starting, I want to have a look at the original page. So I created this layout on YouTube about a week ago. Now this is an easy page, but it's kind of fancy. There's a lot of decoration. There's also a title and some journaling. So when I create a complementary page, I'm not going to have to repeat the journaling or title if it's the same story. And this is going to be the same story. So I have 3 more photos that I would like to add. So I've already matted them in red paper, just like I did on the original page. Now I didn't have enough of this blue paper to repeat the double mat, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. What I do have here is a piece of 12 by 12 basil marshmallow cardstock. I need something 12 by 12, and I'm using the same white cardstock that I originally used. Also, you can see here in a folded over piece of paper, I have all my scraps of paper from the original layout. And that's what I do when I create a single page and I know I'm going to stretch it. I save everything, and I may want to use it on the complementary page. So in addition to that, I also have another piece of blue paper, and I have the stickers, which is from this Vintage Berry Fields collection from Simple Stories, and I have this tray handy with all of the embellishments that I used on the original page. So I have some ephemera pieces. That's from the layered ephemera piece pack. I also have some tags. That was from a cut apart sheet, and I also have chipboard stickers. In addition to that, the only special tool I used on the original page was this tearing tool, an old one from Creative Memories. Not necessary to use a tearing tool to tear, but that's what I used. So anytime I create a complementary page, if I use tools on the original page, when I'm going ahead to create the second page, I always pull out the same tools in case I want to repeat them. So let me clean everything off my desk here and we'll get started in the process. The first thing I'm going to do is determine the design of my complementary page. Now, typically, what dictates my design, there are a few things actually. It's the number of photos I have, the orientation of the photos, and also what material I have left over from the original page. So starting with the photos here, for this complementary page, I have 3 landscape photos. Now, typically, when I have 3 landscape photos, I'm going to make a row of photos. I do have a few options. I could either place it on the left, in the middle, or on the right. Another option is I could stagger them. But what I like to do when I create complementary pages is to keep the complementary page, what I call a page 2, really simple, because already the original page takes up a lot of attention, and I want to keep that as a focal point. So I find straight lines easier on the eye. It's just what I like to do. So I'm going to probably make a border with this. Also, I have to look at the material that I have left over. So what I like to do is pull out what I have in 12-inch strips. So I have this, I have this. All of these, however, are smaller than 12 inches. I do have this, which is 12 inches, but I am not going to want to repeat the same thing. I could, but I'm not going to want to do that. I know myself. I'm going to want to keep this page really, really simple. So that's why I am going to be bringing in this other blue solid paper that I have on the original page. So now that I've determined more or less my page design, which is going to be a border design, I have to determine what side of the layout my complementary page is going to be placed. And what I mean by that is, even though I call them page 2 designs, sometimes I create my complementary page on the right, and sometimes I do it on the left. So here's an option. I could do that with some strips of paper in here, or I could do it on the other side. I can tell you right now, I am liking this better. I don't think there's a right or a wrong here, but I'm going to tell you why I like it better. There's a lot of weight on the right-hand side of this page, and then it kind of just fades out into white, and the focal point photo stands out here. So I like that the weight of the layout just kind of bleeds over onto the left-hand side, and that's just because it looks better to me, that's all. So I think I am going to start with this, and then what I will do is get to the embellishing. But right off the bat, I'm going to take the decision and I'm going to make a border page over here on the left-hand side. Get out my trimmer. And I know the measurements of those photos. They are 5 1/4 inches wide. So I'm going to cut this at 6 by 12. I can always cut it smaller, but at this point I'm going to do it at 6. I know that will be big enough, and if it's too big, I can just trim it down. These other two, well, there's not much to them, so I'm just going to leave them as is. Now, I'm going to place them on my page to see if I like them. Sometimes when I create a design like this, which is super, super easy, I will add a narrow strip of paper on this side. I don't know if I'm going to today. Let's just see how these look. Right now, I'm just going to adhere all of this down. You can see this is a last-minute decision. I didn't even have my tape out in front of me. Anyway, I'm going to want to keep this border as big as I can because honestly, I don't want the white border on the far left to be too wide, and I really don't have that much paper here. So I'm just going to really kind of only adhere it a little tiny bit underneath here. Oh, I guess it's so tiny, I'm not actually giving myself much room to adhere underneath it. I'm thinking about that. Okay, just going to come in and check to make sure they're more or less equal. Yep. Do the same thing over here, and once again, I'm really going to want to utilize as much of this as I possibly can. I hope this real-time video isn't making annoying noises. I'm not really, you know, super familiar with these real-time videos. But whatever, I thought I would pop on today and do this. It wasn't really my plan. I just thought I haven't been on much this summer. And when I was about to do this page, I thought, what the heck? I'll do it on YouTube for you. So you might find this incredibly boring because it's a really, really simple page. Ooh. Now I need my ruler. Ooh. Now, what I'm going to do is put my photos down. You can see how quickly this comes together. Again, when I create these complimentary pages, I definitely do them quickly. I've already spent a lot of time on my original page, so I just want to do it nice and quick. And I just want to add a bunch more photos in my album. And usually, or especially I should say, when I create an original page with only 1 or 2 photos, I definitely want to add more photos in my album. So typically my complimentary pages are multi-photo. It's just a way. I have so many albums. I just can't create pages with 1 photo on them for every page. My house would fall apart. I would have too many. You may have noticed when I'm adhering these, I started by adhering a photo at the bottom, then I adhered the photo at the top, and this just permits me to center the middle photo. It's just easier for me that way to kind of make it even at the top, even at the bottom, and then I basically eyeball it when I position the photo in the middle. So here I go. Already I'm landed at the embellishing part, but you can kind of see how this looks. I'm happy with that. I'm looking at this ripped area here and I'm thinking, what would it look like if I ripped this? Now I do not have much wiggle room here because don't forget, right underneath here, I kind of utilized the branding strip here. So I'm not going to make that decision right now. What I am going to do is start playing a little bit with embellishing first. Okay, so let me bring in my embellishment tray here. Again, these are all of the embellishing that I used on the original page or what I had left over. First of all, let's talk about the positioning of my embellishment cluster. If I look at the original page, well, I suppose that could be considered an embellishment cluster. But what I'm more or less looking at is this embellishment cluster that I added to the layout. There's the title, of course, and then there's the date that I put at the bottom. So for me, a logical place to put an embellishment cluster would be right here, more or less to form a visual triangle with the two embellishment clusters that I added on the original page. Now, again, I find this page very, very busy, so I want to keep this one really simple. And I'm thinking maybe the ripping here might be too much. So the first thing I'm going to do is just start playing with the embellishing. So again, I have all of these layered ephemera pieces. They're called layered ephemera pieces, but they're not really dimensional. They're flat. They just look like they have several different layers on them. I also have the tags, which was a cut apart sheet from this collection. I have, ooh, it looks like I'm missing one there. Anyway, I have this chipboard collection, and I do have the stickers as well. So let me start with the ephemera pieces. Again, I'm just gonna more or less start tucking them here. There's a little bit of room. This one's fairly significant, so I'm not gonna want to compete too much with that one. I'm gonna be working with my layers that I already have over here. Maybe, how does this go? Okay, oh, I do have glue there, so I've gotta kind of lift it. I'm not liking that. Let's just see this a bit. Okay, that's a bit better. Yeah, I kind of like that. This one has the rooster, which I already have over here, which I kind of like. I could tuck it. Oh, do I like that? I am kind of liking that, actually. Now, on the original page, the video that I created last week, see this Viewmaster wheel? It actually came from the sticker sheet. And after the video, I decided that my page was too busy. I had it tucked in behind here. So you can see there, I even have a little bit of adhesive that was probably from this label. But I typically save everything that I possibly can. So you can see I have it on wax paper. I very well may just tuck it in here, because if I wait too long, I'm gonna end up throwing that out. I kind of like that, actually. I probably need a few finishing touches here, but I think what I am gonna do is just adhere this down and see what I think. So let's do that. There's my adhesive. I don't even want to move it. I like it that much. So let's just try to leave it where it is and add a bit of adhesive. See if that works. Maybe that's a bit much. I don't know. I think I'll just do it the conventional way. I mentioned in the early video, or the original video, these ephemera pieces. You may notice there's no white edging around them. There was in the ephemera pack, but these are all really squared up pieces. So one evening when I was watching YouTube, I just took my scissors and decided to fussy cut all of those pieces. And I'm not much of a fussy cutter, in the sense that I'm not good at it and I don't like fussy cutting. But I also really love it when there's no white edging on pieces. And for this one, it was really, really easy to cut. Sometimes I don't mind it, but if given the option, I would select ephemera pieces without white edging. So all that said, if you don't like the white edging, this was really, really easy to cut. Somehow this doesn't look the way it did before. Isn't that just the way it is sometimes? Anyway, we'll just do that. Okay, let's see how this looks. Get my little cloth out. I feel like I definitely need a little bit of finishing touches. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, so this is still looking a little boring to me. I do want to add a little bit of dimension. I definitely added some dimension here, but I think, I don't know, I'm just going to play around with this a bit. This is basically how I scrapbook, folks. I'm just moving things around. I guess it looks just boring because it's so simple, but at the same time, this is very busy, so I want to keep it simple still. I'm going to have a look into the stickers and chipboard. Now this one I did add a red butterfly here, so there is the very same butterfly. I could, you know, just add a little bit of that there. I don't know quite exactly where, maybe down here, just kind of bringing it all in. Also, let's see here. I put all of these word stickers here at the bottom. A beautiful day. Okay, let's try something like this. I may or may not like it. I've got a lot of empty space in this photo at the bottom. Oh, what the heck. When I line up word stickers like what I'm doing right now, what I like to do is have them kind of come in at different lengths. So you notice this one here is really long, this one's a bit shorter, so I'm going to want one that makes sense, of course, but that's a bit longer. Okay, let's see how this looks. It was a beautiful day. Do I like that? I don't know. I might want to put them closer together. Hang on. I could be ruining this. Oof. Okay. All right. This one here. Okay. Now, okay, I'm kind of liking that. Now on the original page, let's see if I have some foam adhesive. I popped some of these up on foam adhesive, just basically not a huge amount. All I was doing was lifting these ephemera pieces and kind of tucking the foam adhesive a little bit further back, and my idea was just to add a little shadow here. So I didn't want them fully popped up with foam adhesive. I'm just creating a bit of shadow. So I'm not even trying it. I'm just winging it here. I did it on the original page and I actually quite liked it. So I'm trusting that I will like it here as well. I'm still thinking about that ripped paper, however. So as I'm doing this, I'm just getting another little idea actually. Just put a little bit more foam adhesive here. I'm almost done. See, this page is so quick. It's this one here. These are confusing because, like I mentioned earlier, these are layered ephemera pieces, so they looked layered. So this one here, for example, it confused me. I felt like I had more than one piece, but it's only one piece. Oh my. Uh-oh. I had two stuck together there. Just one more. I'm making a bit of a mess here. Let's see how that looks. I'll get rid of that. Okay. Well, with the dimension, it looks a little less boring. I was talking about my idea I had for ripped paper. So I have some of this. This is from the original one. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to rip it here because I was worried that the white branding strip that's underneath this red paper would show. But what would it look like? I don't know. If I almost matched that up. If you look at that, the flower kind of matches up. Let's see what I can do here. This is just total play, an idea, absolutely no idea if this would work. Okay, let's just cut it here. Oh my, sorry for all the noise. I am not committing to anything. I am just simply playing. Seemed like a good idea a minute ago, and suddenly I'm not sure. How about that? It's actually not bad. I like that you see a little bit of white. I like that there's a repetition of the tearing, but it really doesn't distract from this page either. I'm going to go for it. Maybe I'll try it at the bottom of it as well. Not exactly what I was looking for, but kind of works. I'm just trying to match up these flowers here. Here we go. And I'm just going to roll that back a bit. Okay. Now, let's see. Do I have another piece of this? How would it work? No, I want it like this. Yeah. Ooh, I can do it. Not sure. Okay, let's use my trimmer here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just playing. Again. I will slip it in without committing. Hopefully I can. I actually don't need it that big. I'm going to trim it down again. Do I need it there? You know what? What the heck? I'm going to put it there. Okay, that's looking a little less boring there to me with the dimension and with a little bit of ripping. There's probably one more thing I'm going to add. On the original page, I have these self-adhesive brads, and I have them in 2 spots. So I'm going to add another one of them over on the cluster here to create another visual triangle. So what would I use? Do I want to, you know what? Right off the bat, I'm seeing the number 2. And there were 2 of us there. Ooh, but where would I want it is the question. I don't know. I'm having a hard time with this. This is the only decision I am going to make after I stop the video. I just can't decide right now, but I do think I'm going to place it somewhere. Anyway, that is it. And now I will just do some closing statements.
So that's it. Can you see where I tucked in that self-adhesive brad? Because it's there. Anyway, I hope this video gave you some insight into my thought process of creating one of my page 2 designs. These are page designs I use that come together super quickly in 30 to 60 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be absolutely thrilled if you did. The same thing for my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec. Also, don't forget to check out the Scrapbook Nerd online shop for these fun supplies and much more. I hope you are having a wonderful summer. Take care, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.